No, it's on photos. All right. So today we're going to start with the iMovie screen. We ended last time with recreating the NWA screen. So this time I'm going to walk you through a little less, and you're going to have to pause more often to make sure you're caught up with where I am. So on the iMovie screen, I'm going to take a screenshot and draw out the lines just like we have done on every project before. I'm going to start by cropping out my clock and my battery because we don't need that. Now I'm going to color code mine to help you be able to keep track of what we're doing and why we're doing it. I'm going to start with red. So the red is going to represent horizontal arrangements for this particular video. And when I look at my iMovie screen, I see that I can't actually draw without cropping. All right, here's the first one. So this is a horizontal arrangement. This is a horizontal arrangement. This is a horizontal arrangement. And this is a horizontal arrangement. So I've got 4 horizontal arrangements on my screen. This first one up here at the top, I'm going to say that that probably has a size of 5% and a width of 95%. My second horizontal arrangement probably has somewhere around a 50% height, 90% width. My third horizontal arrangement, I'm going to go say 20% wide, or sorry, 20% tall, 90% wide. And since I have 20 plus 50 is 70 plus 5 is 75, I'm going to put this at like 70, oops. I'm going to say we're at like 75, so I need maybe 23% on my height, 90% of my width on that. So your first pause on this video is going to be to go to App Inventor, start your second screen, and put 4 horizontal arrangements in there that have these specific sizes. All right, so pause the video, go do that, then come back to the video. When I do that in my App Inventor, I color-coded mine just so you can see them a little better. I have my 4 horizontal arrangements, and each of them have heights and widths set. Now, I ended up putting mine at 95%. It really doesn't matter as long as your width is the majority of the screen. So I'm going to leave mine like this. Then, I'm going to start a new drawing, actually, for this next part. I've got my 4 horizontal arrangements that are in here. I don't want the numbers to appear anymore so that my screen doesn't get too junky for you guys. But I'm going to put my arrangements back in. Now the next thing I need to do is put in things that go in my horizontal arrangements. So I'm going to change my color to green for this one. Up here in my first horizontal arrangement, I see the word projects, and I think that is a label. And I see my dots over here, and I believe that that is a button because I have to be able to push it to get a menu. But that leaves me all this open space here in the middle. A horizontal arrangement is not going to force, or it's not going to allow you to left align one thing and right align another. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an image in here in the middle, just as a spacer. I'm not going to attach anything to that image. Now for this label, if you recall, this was a 5% height for the arrangement, so I'm going to leave that at 5% for the height of my label, and I'm going to say that's probably maybe 15% wide. This button over here for my 3 dots, again, is going to be 5% high and probably another 15% wide. Since I have 15 wide here, 15 wide here, that gives me 30%. And my whole thing is 90, which means this image in the middle, I'm going to make 5% high, 60% wide. I want you to put these into your App Inventor now, all three of them, but I do not want you to put an image into the properties of this. You're just going to throw the image on the designer view and set those properties. You're not going to put an actual image in. Pause the video, go do that. All right, for this next part, I'm going to take off my numbers so it's easier to see. We're going to move on to the second horizontal arrangement. Now, inside this second horizontal arrangement, we have a couple different things to look at. We have this box, which we think is a button with an image as the background because you can click on it. So we've got these 4 buttons here. Then we also have these labels underneath them. Because we have one thing stacked on top of another inside this second horizontal arrangement, we need to put each of these inside one vertical arrangement. So my color for that one is going to be, let's find a good one. Let's say that one's going to be purple. All right, so I need to put well, it's not going to let me pick purple. We'll go yellow. We need to put vertical arrangements in here first. And I need 4 of them. So these yellow boxes are going in next. In each of my yellow vertical arrangements, so vertical arrangement for each of those, each vertical arrangement needs to be the same height as the horizontal it's in, which I believe I put at 50% for my height. And then my width is currently set to 90% for that horizontal arrangement, and I have 4 of them. So 4 can go into 90, a little over 20, so I'm going to say 22 wide for each of those 4 vertical arrangements. So you're going to pause the video again. Inside the second horizontal arrangement, you're going to put 4 vertical arrangements. Each one of those 4 is going to be set to 50% height, 22% width. So pause, go do the vertical arrangements, then come back. Now that your vertical arrangements are in, we can add the buttons and labels that actually go in it. So this is where you're going to do these. So you got a button and a label in the first vertical arrangement, a button and a label in the second, a button and a label in the third, and a button and a label in the fourth. If you didn't size your heights and widths on each vertical arrangement already, it's going to mess up pretty good when you put in those buttons and labels. So if you didn't do that yet, pause, go do that, come back and do the buttons and labels. We want the button for each to be the same size width, which is 22, and we want the height, which I believe we set to 50 for the vertical arrangement. So for these buttons, we're going to set that to 35 for the height, 22 for the width. The labels, we're going to set to 12 for the height, 22 for the width. We're going to do that for this one, and this one, and this one, and that one. So get 4 buttons and 4 labels inside your 4 vertical arrangements, and then come back to the video. All right, our third horizontal arrangement, all we have in here is 1 button that says Start New Project. So inside that horizontal arrangement, we're going to put 1 button. I don't know why that auto-corrected to a heart. That's going to have a height of probably like 13 and a width of 90. And then we need to do the text alignment equals center. And then for your fourth horizontal arrangement, we're going to do 3 buttons. And the width of each of those is going to be 30%. When you finish building this in App Inventor, you're going to go to your App Inventor. You're going to take a screenshot of a completed iMovie screen. Mine is not complete. It will not get you credit. You actually have to have all the buttons and labels and stuff in there. Take a screenshot of that. Go to your NWEA. Take a screenshot of that. What we're looking for is your designer view, your components view, and your name in the top for each of those screenshots. Then you'll go to the assignment called Practice Layout, and you're going to upload both screenshots, so 2 attachments for the 1 assignment. If you have any questions on that, please let us